I wanted to ask you, I
Yeah.
wanted to pick your brain. What does a quality website look like to Jaryd Krause?
So what type are we talking? What type of business model?
I'll qualify it. What is a quality, I can almost say, what does a quality business look like to Jaryd? Or what does a quality
Yeah.
website business look like to Jaryd? Let's say for content. Let's pick specifically content
Content
websites.
sites. Quality is determined by my definition is determined by the minimal risk. I think we talked about before. There's infinite opportunity. I think I may have mentioned that in the last podcast, that there's always infinite opportunity everywhere. So why not buy a business that's got minimal risk, that's got infinite opportunity, versus something that's got more risks with infinite opportunity? So to me, a quality site, the foundation, the baseline, I guess, is minimal risk. And what that looks like is, for a content site, is no single source dependency on most of the traffic coming to one page. No single source dependency on just one affiliate. Ad networks, I'm okay with single source dependency on one ad network. For example, if it's Ezoic and something happens to the site and we can't do it, we can go back to AdSense, or we can go to Mediavine or AdThrive. There's multiple ad networks, and changing it over isn't too much of a risk. Sometimes there may be a variation in earning per monthly views, or RPM, whatever you want to call it. That single source dependency is not too bad. I don't like to see too much traffic heavily from Pinterest or social media. Pinterest is a search engine, but social media and Pinterest traffic can be a lot more fickle. The intent of the traffic isn't as high as, say, people going to Google to search for keywords and search for information. So I'd like a lot of the traffic coming from Google organic traffic, not too much or a heavy load on traffic from Pinterest and social media. I'm talking like 40% plus. There are some risks to bear with that. No, personal brand dependency. If there's a good logical way that we can remove personal brand dependency, that's good, but I prefer not having too much personal brand dependency. I'm looking at backlinks. There's a lot. As you can see, I could just go on and on and on and on, but the main ones are, what are the opportunities with EAT? Does it have EAT or not? What would it take to build EAT? If that's not too much of a hurdle, that can still be a decent site. Backlinks, does it need a lot of work with the backlinks? More often than not, I find Google are pretty lenient with a lot of non-quality links on sites. But what's the DR of the site, like the authority, which helps us understand what the scalability of the site is in terms of how many keywords it can rank for moving forwards. I like a DR that's semi-decent, but not too maxing out, so there's still room for growth. The main thing is those single source dependency.
That is a risk we cannot get away from if you have.
That's right. You can eventually, but risks are all opportunities in disguise, but how much of it is too much of a risk? Because you can take on a risk, but you still need to have a plan to either minimize it or remove it. And if that plan, and you don't have confidence in the plan because you don't have experience in removing or de-risking that type of risk within the business or a content site, and you don't have confidence in yourself, that risk may actually be too much of a risk for somebody to take on, unless they're really committed to learning and giving themselves a bit more time to decrease it or remove it.